Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another stream. It's been almost 2 years since the last stream, and the channel, I think the channel was like half the size. So welcome back. We have a really exciting stream. I'm going to be showing some behind the scenes of Dewdrop Dynasty, but mostly we're just going to be doing some artwork today. So please, if you have burning questions, your burning Dewdrop questions, game dev questions, any questions, this is going to be the opportunity for you to ask them. I can't promise that I will be able to answer all your questions, but please do. And when you do, make sure that you tag me at Goodgis. But starting off, where's everyone at? What time is it? It's been forever. All right, let's see. Hiya, hello. It looks like the chat is catching up. Mr. Spelling Guy, how's it going? Redwan, how's it going? True Blue Black 47, smiley face, how's it going? Maxer Smithen, is that how you say it? How's it going? Oliver, how's it going? Mr. Mustachio, I like that. Nice snow effect, dude. Yeah, I'm playing around with this particles for particle effects for this area. I don't know if I'm sold on it yet, but this is just like a test. Actually, I'll open up. Ooh, look at that little note. All right, so it is. Okay, that's military time. What's that, like 9 o'clock? I don't know. 8 o'clock? I don't know. How is it going? Bye, Goodgis. Are you leaving? First time on live stream for you. Well, Frogu, welcome. Beautiful. It's 7 p.m. here. Man. In the beautiful sunny state of Ohio, that's a joke because it's generally not very sunny. It is today, but it is 2 p.m. So try to find a time that works for everyone. Don't distract you too much. All right, Mr. Mustachio. What are you up to? What are you doing? No, just kidding. Cool. Well, welcome everyone. We're gonna jump right in. How about I just show you guys something? I'll just show you what I've been up to. I'll give you a little rundown and then we'll jump into some questions and stuff. So, some of you might have noticed I've been a little quiet on YouTube, and part of that is just because I've been working really hard on Dewdrop. My plan was to try to release the game this year. Things might change, and there's a new video that will kind of explain the timeline and the release date for this game. But making games takes a long time, especially because I still work full-time. So I'm still working full-time. I'm doing YouTube. You know, I have a family, all this stuff. There's a lot to juggle. So development has been slow, but it's been wonderful. Recently, I've been working on the artwork. And you're going to see that there's a new devlog going to come out in like 2 weeks, something like that. And you'll see more of behind the scenes of what's happening. But so give a rundown. So here's an area called Snow Heap. I won't spoil too much about this location, but as you can tell, it's a snow location. So currently all the areas are in the game for the most part. Like things are going to be reworked, and like right here, you notice it's missing artwork and enemies and all the fun things that make a Metroidvania interesting. So what I've been doing recently is I've been taking these backgrounds, because obviously you see that there's these tiles in the background, but it's pretty barren. It looks pretty sad actually. And I'm taking those and I'm trying to add backgrounds. This is like literally I just worked on this for like an hour the other day. So trying to add like let's grab the flamethrower. Adding like parallax scrolling with the background elements. There'll be foreground elements. Obviously working on props. This is a chest. Got a ticket. That's wonderful. And so that's basically what I've been working on. To give you an example of what an area will look like, let's hop over to another location I've been working on. And this is Pipe World. Some of you might remember this from early on in the devlogs. Pipe World was like in some of the original screenshots of the game. So you can see there's a lot more detail. There's waterfalls, there's fog, there's tons of different layers. There's foreground tiles. Actually, there aren't foreground tiles for this area yet. I need to work on those. But so part of what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on probably maybe some props, some NPCs, and stuff for these locations to kind of flesh it out. But to show you what these areas normally look like before the artwork update, we'll go into this room right here. So you'll see the juxtaposition. This is what it looked like before. Very empty. Very empty, not a lot of detail, and then detail. So I hope this... Well, this already adds so much to the game. This door artwork needs updated. It's just another location, but I just colored it red so I'd remember which is which. So that's it. And then I'll show you one more location. Maybe I'll answer some questions and I'll show that real quick. So, but yeah, that's the general premise today. Is we're going to be working on some artwork, and feel free to give some suggestions while I work on stuff. But I'm going to read some questions because there's already some lovely questions coming in. Cheeseburger says, Goodgis, how much will it be? And thank you for inspiring continued game dev. I would have not been making games right now without your videos. Well, that is very nice of you. I seriously appreciate that. That's always inspiring. And it's cool to see the game dev community grow. So that's awesome. And pricing wise, I'll give the answer I normally give, and that's I basically am going to wait until the game is basically done to figure out the pricing, because I want to make sure I price it according to the length. But it's going to be probably between 10, 20 bucks. To make it any less than that is just like, unfortunately, you just can't really make any money from it because the Steam takes like 30% and stuff, and then you have taxes, all the lovely things. So, got another question, or I got a question. Do you have any tips for staying consistent with artwork? Also, your content made me want to start game dev. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, being consistent with artwork, I think a general rule of thumb is that you should set up guidelines. Like, so for Dewdrop, for the most part, and I remember, rules are meant to be broken. Some rules are meant to be broken. But for Dewdrop, you'll notice that there's black outlines on everything, and really no two colors butt up against each other without a black outline. You'll notice right here in the tiles, I instantly break that rule. But in general, in Dewdrop, that's the case. And then using a similar resolution and color palette, it's really just creating restrictions and then making sure that everything fits in those restrictions. So that is what I would say about that. And also, people always want to try to figure out their style, like having a consistent style, but that just takes time and practice. So all right, let's see what else. Do I need a PC/laptop to be a game dev? Probably. Like, I know you can make games on your phone and stuff, but if you actually want to be and there are some like web development tools that you might not need it, but it's gonna be really hard to develop it's gonna be really slow, and I don't even know how you would do it. So you can, but I would highly recommend just getting a computer. So even if it's like a $90 computer, you could still do a lot with that. Is there any normal maps in the sprites? No. So Dewdrop's absolutely 2D. All the parallax scrolling that you see is, well, let's show you right here. All the parallax is just they're just layers. That's it. I'm just using a parallax background. So Goodgis, how do you stay motivated to get up and do game stuff? I can't get myself to do anything productive. You know, I was the exact same way when like growing up, when I first started game dev. I think it helps. The older you get, I think the easier it is to like manage like responsibilities and just like feel motivated. But I think another thing for Dewdrop is just the commitment to all you guys wanting to play the game. It gets me excited to work on the game. And also like Kickstarter, like I do have an obligation to work on this. So I realize that some of the most rewarding projects are the ones that you kind of force yourself to keep working on. And you'll find that you enjoy them more than just regular projects. So, Goodgis, will the VOD be available after like other streams? I'm pretty busy right now. Yes, like it'll be under my the live section and on YouTube. So I always do that. Hey Goodgis, I already told you it, but thank you so much for inspiring me to make my own game engine in pure Java. Yeah, that's awesome. I that made me smile the other day. It's cool that it's cool to see all the Java love. I know there's a lot of hate going around, and to be fair, I don't use enough to like you know, understand why people hate it all the way, but I like it a lot. So okay, real quickly, I'm gonna show you guys one other well, let's go to Tumbleweed. Let's go back to the very beginning, and I'll just kind of play through Tumbleweed. So a lot of you probably haven't seen this outside the demo, and if you guys have seen the demo, like it's been a long time since the demo. So well, let's put this in full screen too. So a lot has changed in Tumbleweed. You've probably, if you've watched any of the devlogs, you'll notice obviously how that's changed. I like this guy right here. Hold on, let me I just want to burn that guy. Sorry. Kel, how's it going? Ooh. So at this point, I wouldn't have like right now I have a wall jump ability, and I have the charge shot, and I have flamethrower, and I have the TNT. You wouldn't have all this stuff at this point. I'm obviously just doing this for testing purposes. But yeah, you'll notice that from the demo, the game has changed like quite a bit. There's a few things that I'm probably gonna go back with Tumbleweed and fix to make the artwork more consistent. Or I mean, like I feel like Tumbleweed artwork is pretty close to being done. I just feel like there's a few more unique things, like background I can maybe tweak a little bit, and then some foreground stuff. So slowly but surely the artwork is getting done. It makes me happy. Burning to death, what a horrible fate. It would be, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah, it is kind of morbid. Here's a great character, Reginald. He has like a little quest line in the game, which is cool. Shout out to Crepe. Crepe's been writing a good chunk of the NPC dialogue, which he's doing a fantastic job. So, Mountain Man. I'm just gonna say your name because you said mine. What theme do you use for Godot? I don't really use a theme. I changed it so it was black. That's it. Ooh. Come on, burn him! Burn him! Everyone's favorite enemy right here. Actually, no, that's the crows. I'm getting out of here. Your game breaks the Geneva Convention. Well, I never said it wouldn't. Okay. Meet the pirate. Who? Max, was it you or is it someone else in the channel that made that like Poe version of Meet the Pyro? That was hilarious. Any tips for making game backgrounds? Me and my friend JD Wako are making a game right now, but we're struggling with backgrounds. If you see this, you're one of our biggest inspirations. Well, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Backgrounds are, I've learned to love them, but I started out hating them, like most people do, because they're just like, they're really tricky. I think Tumbleweed's maybe a bad example of a background because it's just like, it's very flat. The best thing I could suggest with a background is to keep them as like detail-wise, like as simple as possible. You don't want them to get too crazy, and then just layering with parallax. So it's really just breaking down into layers. Like I said, this is probably like not the best example, but it is what it is. Cheeseburger, is this your dream game, and what is your favorite part of making it? Also, how expensive will it be to buy it? Or also, how expensive will it be? I'll buy it no matter what. I don't know how much it's gonna be yet, but the whole idea of a dream game. This is really interesting because I had a chat with Chalicade the other day. He was super cool dude, and we were talking about this, like the whole premise of a dream game, and not that there's anything wrong with a dream game. All right, let me be frank, okay? But I think the idea is like, we were kind of talking about like his game Moonshire and my game Dewdrop. Like both these games didn't start out as games, I don't think, essentially that were our dream games. They really started out as just us trying to make something, and then they kind of evolved, and over time, we just learned to love them more and more. So Metroidvanias weren't really my favorite genre. Like I honestly hadn't played that many Metroidvanias before working on Dewdrop, but because I've stuck with this project for so long, I've ended up having a blast with it. So I think the whole dream game thing, it's a really great YouTube thumbnail. But I think a better way to describe it is like maybe a game you're passionate about. And maybe you're not passionate about it, but I love this NPC right here. Have you seen our colleague? He seems to have wandered off. It's a shame, really. Could use more help. I hope Reginald's okay. This guy's awesome too. Goodgis, I only have an M2 MacBook Air, no Windows, and I remember you're struggling getting the demo on Mac. Are you still anticipating the final releases on Mac, or is it not worth it? It is on Mac, I think. Crepe and I have been working on getting a map on Mac. The demo's taken down. There's no more demo. There won't be another demo. This is the closest you'll get to the demo is watching me play this through the first area. Oh yeah. Also, I made this little mini map thing, a little quick map. But yeah, there will not be another demo just because the game isn't like insanely long and it's changed so much. I took down the old demo. Actually, let's go into the gotcha machine room. I like that room. But yeah, it currently has support on Mac. I think there was like an issue, but I can't remember if we resolved that or not. We did, yes. Okay. Yeah, I have Crepe in studio with me today, so just keep me on track. This is one of my favorite NPCs in the game, is this guy. I like how he, oh dear, looks like you don't have enough tickets. Okay, whatever. Do you like the NPCs and will you make a DLC? I mean, I do enjoy the NPCs. The NPCs are fun because they've really been a way to like get across some of the lore of the game. And so there's a lot of cool little secrets with the NPCs, and they're just funny. Like I'm a huge fan of the Mario series, if you couldn't tell. So there's a lot of references to that sort of humor, and they add a lot of depth to the game. But regarding DLC, I think the goal is, depending on how the game, depending on how the success of the game, if the game totally flops, which I don't think it would totally flop, but if for some reason it did, I don't know how much I would support the game. Like I would, like if there was issues where like, oh, this game's terrible, you need to fix this or that, we definitely will do everything in our power to fix it. But like if it just like is kind of a dud and people are like, okay, whatever, then I don't know. But the plan is, and there's no promises here, but the plan is if the game does well, then we would love to do some free updates, not even DLC. So maybe DLC eventually, but where's the demo on Steam? There is no demo on Steam. People always ask about that, and I made that pretty clear that we got rid of the demo. So no demo, you can't play it. The only people that have access to the game right now are the beta testers who backed the Kickstarter. So I've thought about maybe, well, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. So that's it, yeah. So unless you're a beta tester, is actually what they're called, you don't have access to it right now. I don't like the demo's controls because it's very bad to use. I'm talking Z to jump. Hey, I want to show you something. You're gonna love this, okay? Fire God, watch this. Ready? First off, this is gonna be in the new devlog. I'm gonna talk about this. I added mouse controls, so you can like actually, like adjust your settings and stuff. So nice. But we'll go here and look at this input mapping. You can change anything to your heart's content. For the most part, there's like some keys you can't map it to, but you can map it however you want and it works. It's beautiful. We've even been working on language support here. So there we go. Language support's work in progress. But we've just been testing it. Like the fonts are messed up and stuff like that. And what is this, like Russian? But so we've been working on adding language support just for the UI stuff. None of like the main dialogue has it yet, so that's a thing. You can see your FPS, look at audio settings. It's beautiful. There's so much more control over the game now. Controller support isn't fully in, but I will be working on that soon. I just got a Steam Deck, so I got really annoyed because I want to adjust my controls in the game, and I couldn't. So this is going to be a higher priority. So if you don't like the controls, you can make them whatever you want. So one of my favorite enemies, Kaboots. Boom. Axie, how's it going? Cup Gray, how is it going? Oh, I need to update that effect. Okay. I'm gonna go to the save room that no one knows about. Oh man. Take that. This is gonna be cheap. I'm about to go into a boss fight here. I'm about to go to a boss fight with the charge shot and actually I'm wondering if I'm gonna get an error here because I have the flamethrower. So we're gonna fight Cactadilla. Can I bind shoot to left click? I don't know. I don't think you can bind to the mouse. Maybe. Do you prefer arrow keys or mouse to aim in Metroidvania? I don't know. I feel like anyone who likes to aim with a mouse is like you're probably younger than me, and you probably grew up playing Minecraft or like FPSs, because I don't, or Terraria or something, because that's like the weirdest idea, aiming with a mouse in my mind. Codename Super. Here's a question regarding programming. Do you use composition in Dewdrop's code? It's very popular design pattern in Godot. Could you elaborate on that? Because I don't know if I'm quite sure on that, what you're saying there. I remember you mentioning unlocking different abilities like rolling and dashing. Are there any way you can give us a sneak peek on that? Yeah. Here you go. Wall jumping is one. I already have it unlocked. Rolling is going to be in the game by default. There'll be other movement as well. The charge shot right here, that is an ability. You actually get it from this fight right here. The only reason I'm spoiling this is because it kind of already been spoiled. And also this is just like the beginning of the game. So let's do a little boss fight, shall we? It's so weird not having the music. Yeah, right now the music you're hearing is like Nintendo cave music, so just know that like the epic Dewdrop music isn't in. I'm gonna try the flamethrower. Did I fix that? Yeah. I've been trying to be good about like make the game so it doesn't break if like for some reason if you're able to sequence break and get other items. I'm trying to make it so it works. Yeah, this boss fight is going to be reworked. Most of the boss fights you've seen in videos are definitely going to be reworked to have more attacks. This is like a little snoring for me. And Cactadilla has too much health, so I'm very aware of... Oh, actually... Oh, no, it's because I had the charge shot. That's why that was easier. Okay, ready? How many bosses will there be? I don't know, a dozen or so. Maybe more. We'll see. Yay, you get the... Oh, I already have it. That's awkward. I'm not going to pick it up. So that's the charge shot. If we go over here... There you go, the charge shot. So I won't explain all this stuff, but just know that there's gear and it does stuff. You also, here's the map of Tumbleweed. So I added, it's kind of, the type is kind of messed up there, but what in the world is happening? It's overlapping. I added tokens that you can change. It's very much like a Hollow Knight sort of thing. So if you're like, oh, there's a wall here, you can add that. And then you come back, there's a quick map tab. So you can see like, oh, there's a wall there. I need to blow it up or something. So that's about it. I don't want to show too much more of the game. There's obviously the rest of Tumbleweed, and then there's more locations than Tumbleweed. I only show Tumbleweed because I don't want to spoil everything, but I'll show you, how about this? I'm just gonna pause right here, okay? I'll pause right here and answer some questions where you guys can look at this lovely area. Will the game be playable on Steam 2026? No, I'm hoping it'll be playable on Steam 2025. So, for those who don't know, the goal originally was to release the game the end of this year. But it's just been a crazy year trying to get stuff done. Development always takes longer than you think it's going to take. And like I mentioned earlier, I still work full time. I actually work I work multiple jobs, so it's kind of crazy. And I'm also having a kid in like a few short weeks here. So I'm like, you know what? It isn't realistic. So initially the release, for those who are curious, it was going to be September. But it just didn't pan out. But development has been going super fast recently. And the plan, I'm even scared to say it, but the plan ideally is to release in June of 2025. So if it takes longer than that, I might cry. So that's that. And then, okay, there's quite, have I played Animal Well? I have not, but Janky Bread, who's in the chat, one of the Fear guys, he's played it. It looks cool. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. There's something about it that I don't know. It's cool, but I feel like it needs combat or something. I like my Metroidvania games to just be Zelda games. Let's see. Skies, yes. Baby Giss 2, yes. It's been interesting balancing baby Gisses. That's actually why I haven't streamed in a while. Saggy in the world, you're about to be banned for spamming. Thank you. So this is a oh, I'll let you guess what this area is, but there's one thing I want to show you in this area. Well, there's actually kind of a cool puzzle here, but I don't want to spoil. But here's another ability for someone who is curious. Oh yeah. And we'll go into the spider room. We'll hang out here. This is a nice, cozy place to hang out. I have a question. As a developer, do you have a lot of fun playing your own game, or are you easily bored because you spend a lot of time working on it? So that's actually the goal. That's the trick to see if you are making a good game or not. Because if you're bored by your game, then generally that's not a good sign. With that said though, I do enjoy the movement of Dewdrop. I enjoy it a lot, but the whole premise of a Metroidvania is exploration and like finding things you haven't found before. And so, it's kind of weird because I don't get to experience that because I know every room, I know how they're connected, I know how they all relate to each other. So I can't like experience it the same way. So it's kind of I don't want to say it's a bummer, but it's not. I guess it doesn't have the same effect. But like when I made MMOs and stuff like that, those are super fun. So yeah, there's a fun to it. I almost find game development to be more fun than the result of it. And you'll notice that if you get really into game dev, that's kind of what happens too. So I don't know. Chalicate, speak of the devil. I was just talking about how you and I were talking about dream games. The dream game trope. What's your favorite part of developing Dewdrop? Probably the polishing side of it. Like right now, like all the artwork you're seeing here, believe it or not, took like a day or two to implement it and to add to the whole area. And now that's just like the most rewarding feeling. I purposely been designing the game with the intent of like getting all the like, I don't want to say boring, but like kind of like blocking out and leaving the art part to last, because I know that's the part, and making bosses and stuff like that, and enemies and NPCs, all that stuff I absolutely love, and puzzles and all those things. So I left all that stuff towards the end so I can just have like a blast with it. So let's see what else. Oh, composition is basically that all of an entity's code and behavior is in its components. So for example, if you have a player, you give it a bunch of custom nodes for each behavior you want. You know, I honestly haven't messed around with that a whole lot. It's one of those things that I've come from an artist background first, so I kind of find what works for me. But I do have like all sorts of little features and stuff like that. I'll show you some. We'll pause in the game here and I'll show you switch. Like I've done some stuff like this. This is like probably nothing to what you're talking about, but you'll notice I have this door. Once I drag it in, you notice the door changes. So I have code to update it in the editor. Whatever location I'm at, it will update the door to that. And then I have export variables to face the doors a certain way. And then all I have to do is I just drag this door node, assign it to the switch, and boom, they're linked. So I have like some things like that, or like let's look at like tumbleweed spawner, and wait, is it spawner? What is it again? Oh, it's no tumbleweed. There's no spaces in it. So tumbleweed spawner, I do this like, so I have my enemies, and then I can change out like, oh, I want the bat, and then I can change like what direction it's facing. So I have made these like kind of like in-game editor things that I can easily like place stuff, really just to make development faster. So I highly recommend that. And then the way I'm doing that is I'm just making a script for anyone that's curious. Let's go back to the switch door. For the switch, let's go into this code here. You just notice that I'm making it a tool, and then I have certain things like if it's not the in-game editor, it hides it, but if it is an in-game editor, it shows that little icon and yada yada yada. So check out @tools; they're really cool. Anywho. Which of your unfinished games like Blizzard Blowout or Stone and Bone would you most like to finish? Stone and Bone. I like Blizzard Blowout, but I feel like in a sense it's already finished. Like I could extend the game, and I do feel like there's a lot of merit to that, or like it could be interesting. But yeah, if I had to finish a game, I mean that's definitely like the next game I would work on and finish. So okay, I'm getting behind a question, so let me answer a few. Will release on console? I don't know. Initially the plan was to release on the Switch, but I've been working on this game for almost 5 years, and I'm worried that the Switch is just gonna be kind of dead by then because the new Switch will be coming out. So we'll see. I don't know. What would you think of people modding Dewdrop? I think it'd be cool to have like modding community to improve the game, like a Steam Workshop thing. I don't know how to do that yet, so I'll have to figure that out. But if we were to like allow modding support and stuff like that for the game, it wouldn't be until after the game is released. So do I have any other game ideas? Stone and Bone is a big one. But I have a few ideas. I'm obviously a little secret-y. How did you design the layout of your levels? It was actually I made this big map. I'm not going to show because it would spoil the whole map. And then we would just quickly block out a room. Me and Crepe would quickly block out a room, just really rough, nothing to it, like nothing in it, and we would just kind of connect rooms together. And then we did that, and then it was kind of iterative process. So we would play through the levels, and we'd be like, wow, this platforming is really boring, or whatever, or this feels right, whatever, yada yada yada. And that's how we refine the room. So it's really an iterative process and I think it's kind of an arbitrary, the way you make rooms is kind of arbitrary. And what I've done is I've gone back, and when I've added enemies in, it's made me tweak rooms to make the platforming make more sense. Or when I add puzzles, I might redo a room entirely. So let me take a swig of water here. Who is that rat guy? Are you talking about this guy right here? Well, he's on PC. You have to wait and see. What happened to the full release of Blizzard Blowout? Is it shelved for now? Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it, but I don't think I mentioned it like officially. Yeah, it just put on hold. There's people that like the game, but what happened was I was getting focused on developing that while I was still working on Dewdrop, and I just was managing too much. And I had the Fearth guys help out with that, but also it's hard because you can have people help out, but if they're not leading the project, it's hard to like have them take over the project. They actually made there's some pretty sweet level design for Blizzard Blowout, but Yeah, I think the game in itself is fun. I almost feel like though I would almost have to go back and start from scratch and come up with like a I don't know. I'm not opposed to finishing it in the future. I just don't know. Yo, what's your art style called and how do you draw it? And can you draw it? Big fan. And how did you make your main character? I made it like this. I went into Pyxel edit, and then I just scribbled. That's kind of how I make Pyxel edit. Is I just kind of scribble. And for those who are curious, I use a trackball mouse. So I'm literally just drawing with my thumb right now, like some heathen. But then it's like, okay, and then, oh, this guy's kind of looking like an elephant, so let's like give him a trunk. And that's kind of what I do. But obviously, I've just done it for a while. I mean, think about it, I've been working on this game for years, so I've just kind of developed a rhythm for what a character should or shouldn't look like, and sometimes I change that. But obviously, this color is awful. I kind of like this guy. Actually, that's what I should be working on now, is some characters. So if you have ideas for character, throw for snow-related characters. Because specifically, I'm trying to design for this area right now. Or like prop suggestions, throw them in the chat. Can't promise they'll be in the game, but yeah. Have you played any Metroid games? Yeah, I've played most of Super Metroid. And you know what? Here's the dirty little secret: is I'm not a big Metroid guy. I absolutely despise the setting of Metroid, like the creepy space theme. It's like I just don't like it. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm trying to think. I was playing some Metroid Dread, but I didn't really get super far in it. I really just, the way I view making this game is I kind of view it in two ways. Instead of being like, oh, it's a Metroid game, I do look at Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight is like kind of an interesting take on the genre. But I also look at a lot of Zelda, because I kind of view that this game is just a 2D. It's a side-scrolling Zelda game. That's really been my mindset. So, let's see how far we can. Maybe this is okay. It would be kind of funny if there's like a mammoth character, like a woolly mammoth. I might have to look up some reference. Woolly mammoth. Okay, yeah, that's right. They have tusks. All right. If you have a question and I didn't answer it, please put in the chat again. I probably didn't see it. Bigfoot. Would it be a Bigfoot or would it be a Yeti? I don't know. I like how it's kind of weird how like normal we make like Bigfoot. It's like some weird like super like some weird creature, and everyone's like they want it on their like outdoor gear. I'm like, dude, if you saw that in the woods, if a Bigfoot showed up at your house, I think you'd wet your pants. I don't think you'd want like a picture of it on your wall or something, on your water bottle. If you don't want to give them tusks, you can make it a baby. That's true. Baby. Where the tusks come out here. Little Pyxel art advice: don't make things that are like flat. All right, like this character is an example of that, like a bad example, but it's his design is specifically that way because it's funny. But normally when I make art, I try to make them three-dimensional, so you can see like the back of the hands and the front of the hands. There's depth to them. It makes for more interesting character design than just having like a front-on character. But yeah, I made the face like this because it's funny. No, there will be no more Dewdrop demos. I can't even submit a demo anymore. Once you submit to one Steam Next Fest, that's it. You can't do for that game. You can't submit your same game again. So All right, let's move his eyes over. His tusk needs to move over too. People are gonna be like, what in the world is this guy? Let's give him a big jacket. I kind of like this puffy jacket here. How much time would beating the whole game compare to 100%ing it? That's a great question, and one that I can't answer yet. So it's just all gonna come down to the little details and what we're gonna have time to do. So like I said, if we don't have time, most likely we'll do free updates, because there's like other areas and stuff like that. But I want to like have everyone keep in mind that this is like, it's not like Metroidvanias in general are short. Like they're really short. So this game is definitely not going to be like the longest game ever. But I'm hoping to, my desire is to have a lot of replay value with it. So this guy's looking weird. Hold on, I gotta fix this. Something's not right. Ooh, this Paper Mario track is the bomb.com. Yeah, good games are greater than long games. It's true. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times when I play games, I'm like, there's still 10 hours left in this game. I like a really good game. Like, some of my favorite games have been super short. When I'm old and wise, I'll tell my children about this game. Be like, yeah, I remember the Dewdrop Dynasty. Back in the day. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. It's weird to have dedicated, like, put in perspective. In the span of me making this game, I graduated college. Got a full-time job. I was married, I will say. I already was married, so. And I've literally am gonna have 2 kids by the time the game is finished. So it's like, a lot has. It turns out when you spend like 5 years to make a game, a lot can change in that time. Bonzo. Mario Land 2 is a short and sweet game. Mario Land 2 is fantastic. What about Amal Sant? Nope, no Santas. No Santas! No, I feel like if there's a Santa character, it would be like an animal character. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to balance like making something not ugly and reading chat at the same time. So that's always a struggle. I wonder if like we make him kind of. No, he's too grouchy. He's too angry there. Yes. Give him a little tough. Okay. How much longer will you be streaming? Probably, what time is it? I start at 2. I'm gonna stream a total of 2 hours. So I'll end at 4, which does not help you whatsoever because you could be in different time zones. So yeah, for like another hour. All right, let's get this a puffy. This is like an Eddie Bauer jacket. Nice puffy, warm jacket. I think his head is too. His head needs to be bigger or something. Let's do that. There we go. Get that little trunk detail. Yeah, making characters is very iterative. Like, takes a long time. Well, not sometimes it doesn't, but it's really just experimenting and playing around with it for infinity until I like it. So sometimes it's faster than others. I don't like the ear. I think the ear is kind of weird. How's Badgus doing? You know, Badgus, he's hanging in there. It's been I've been keeping him in his place, thankfully. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's try this again. I'm actually looking at reference is your friend, and I wasn't looking at reference. Normally, I don't always look at reference, but for something that's has such a distinct face, sometimes you need to. So here we go. That already is a much better mammoth shape. Let's see what else. Sorry, if you asked a question, it's gone. I can't see it. So please ask it again. Feel free to continue to ask the same question if I don't answer it. Okay, then we'll put like his little eye right here. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's kind of drag this out. I like being able to see from a distance. How about a pill bug? In a cold area? I don't know. I don't know about that. This is trunk. It's kind of a weird looking trunk. Are we gonna have a sneak peek of the soundtrack before release? I mean, technically you already have. It's been in devlogs and stuff like that. Peter and I are still... Peter's got like one more track to do. So we've been still working through the tracks. But for the most part... And then some tracks we're just gonna... Crepe and Bonzo are filling in the gap to help finish, because it's expensive having a composer. But we got... There's a secret track that Peter and I have been working on that I'm very, very excited for everyone to hear. I don't know if I'll tease it before the game comes out, or maybe I won't. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so tusks are like, they're yellowish, and they also come out like this part. Did I say? Wait, hold on. I don't like. Someone's gonna join this stream like, why are you making a potato? Okay, then the mouth has to be like right here. There we go. Now we're... Oh no, I got rid of that color. Darn it. Well, let's just use yellow for now. This is gonna look bad, but it's temporary. Okay, question. Which of your unfinished games would you like to finish? Okay, Cupgrade, maybe you didn't hear that. Stone and Bone is my answer for that. What engine do you use to develop your games? Godot, game engine, another one? Yeah, Godot. Godot all the way. Also, make sure you guys tag you at me, @ at Goodgis. It's just easier for me to see. Otherwise, it gets lost in the chat. Okay, let's just make this like not disgusting looking. And then like, I think the tusk is more like, it needs to come down more. Maybe I'll make his trunk longer so it helps like sell the... This stream is just gonna turn into how to make a mammoth in the Dewdrop art style. Let's do it like that. There we go. Now we're getting something. I don't know if it's good, but... Okay, is this a sprite? I can't remember what it looks like. No, this is Pyxel Edit. Pyxel. It's really... I don't know why I like Pyxel Edit so much. It just works for me. I'd probably recommend a sprite to other people. I don't like a sprite. There's a lot of things that just feel really clunky to me, so I use Pyxel Edit. But the guy who made it, I don't think he's like really he doesn't support it anymore. So that's why I'm like always hesitant to recommend this, because it's not like, I don't think it's actively being developed anymore, but man, it's great. I wish I could buy it, like the ownership over it, or like pay someone to continue to develop it, because I like it so much. Okay, we gotta get more like a Chad jawline here. Oh, that's kind of weird. That's a little too Chadish for me. Okay, sorry. Make a polar bear. Okay. We'll see about that. A polar bear. Let's round this right here. What are your thoughts on Turbo Game Engine? I've literally never heard of that. So that's my thoughts. Hold on, I need some better reference here. Woolly mammoths are so weird because they're like blob creatures. Very blobbish. Okay, why is the mammoth not big? Well, you just wait and see, okay? I think he needs a bigger ear as well. It's kind of interesting too because like, I guess I don't know the research on this, but like, do we know exactly what mammoths look like? We know they're like skeletal structure, but I can't remember if there's like, we found like a frozen one or something. Gotta give him like a little the elephant ear thing. His eye needs to be bigger. Bring it back a little bit. This is so weird. Okay, like that. I don't like the shape at the top of his head. It's too round. Okay, and the tusk. That's what's getting me, man. Okay, questions. There's so many questions and I'm distracted. How do you feel about your OST matching with the themes of your areas? I think there are some things like hindsight. I think it would have been better in hindsight to like make all the areas and then make the music, but the OST wouldn't have been done in time. So there's some things that like we've adjusted and stuff to try to work. But for the most part, I'm really happy with it. I really like the motifs and stuff of the OST. So, what is this track? I don't even know what this song is. It sounds very 80s. Is Fear still doing Autumn Game Jam this year? No, unfortunately, the reason we've pulled back on a lot of that stuff is purely just so we could get Dewdrop done. So, yeah, I'm sorry. The YouTube channel has really, I don't want to say taken a hit, but we've really pulled back on what we've been doing just to make time, make sure that we have time for development. And I know there's like some people always ask like, why are you making these like maiden series videos if you're working on Dewdrop? But there's a thing to it as well, like where Dewdrop devlogs, a lot of people like them, but there's a huge group of people that they're just not like the biggest fan of them. So I want the channel to keep growing as well. So I try to add a mix of things to keep the channel fresh. So I wonder if I should, well, his eye would be on the other side, but I wonder if I like, okay, we're getting somewhere here, slowly but surely. I don't know why I picked like the most difficult thing. I'm gonna make him just like huge. Hey Goodgis, what are you making? I'm just kind of messing around making a potential NPC character for Dewdrop Dynasty right now, so. But I'm not really happy with how this is turning out, so I might move on. Sometimes you can get, that's one thing as an artist, sometimes you can get hung up on something, and it's best to move on and try something different. Also, it's like, I haven't made art in front of people in a while, and there's always like some nerves. It's my least favorite thing, doing that for videos, is when I have to record myself actually making something. This is disgusting. What about a Santa? I almost thought it said Sonic. A Santa Penguin NPC. We'll see. There might be some Penguin NPCs. But who knows? Does Santa live in this universe? People always ask me what my art style is called. I literally, it doesn't have a name. It transcends names. No, I don't know. Outlines style? I don't know. Are you talking about just like Dewdrop in general, or like my live, or like like the Maiden series kind of stuff, the vector artwork. I love this track. This is Woolly World. This guy looks disgusting. Any Halloween areas / characters? Nothing Halloween. Personally, Halloween's too spooky for me, but there is an area that is, there's an unsettling area. How about, that's the best way I could describe it. But yeah, for the most part, this game is, there's tense moments, but my goal was to make, actually really the goal of Dewdrop is to make a Metroidvania that's not like the most depressing game you've ever played in your entire life. Like a lot of Metroidvanias are. Let's see. No, there's not going to be any more demos for Dewdrop. Demos are done. The demo is called the game. let's give him some chonk legs. This man's body shape is disturbing me. So what is this track? Will Dewdrop have a story will have a twist? You'll have to wait and see. It's hard. It's like, I know there's only so many questions, but I really am being vague on purpose, because otherwise you guys will be like, oh great, this game is exactly what he told us it would be, and there's no secrets, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm going back to the trunk being out. Oh, I need to move on. Ugh. I need to move on from this guy for now. I need an easy win. Let's do this. Delete this stuff. Okay, let me, snow out. Let's see. Let's see, maybe a pet rock or a sentient rock. That's just the NPC, is just a large rock. Oh, it's like, that's too. Here you go. There it is. Here's your rock NPC, just for you. What art style did you use for Dewdrop? That is, I don't know what you call this. That's a great question. Probably like outlined or something. It's not even retro. I have honestly no idea. It doesn't have a name, so. Also, thank you so much to H3RX9 for the donation or super chat. I seriously appreciate that. Have you heard of Bzz? It's a Pyxel platformer. I have not. Let me look this up. Bzz. Oh, you know what? I have heard of it. I didn't know that's what it was called, but yeah, I've followed it on Twitter. Okay, let's get rid of the face here. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that rock. That's a nice rock. It's a very pointy rock, I might add. But it's a rock nonetheless. And let's make this a little bit lighter. There you go. That's my warm-up. There you go. All right, someone throw another idea at me. I think you should make a game in the game, a cheeseburger. How's a cheeseburger a game? Your art style is Goodgis. I don't even know what that fully means. Maybe you could add some cloudy character. There's just some common mood swings. Starts raining. It's kind of an interesting idea. Why does everyone ask for art style name? I think an art style is just the style of the artist. Yeah. Yes. I think that's a great way to say it. I mean, there are art styles. There's like minimalism, or like Dada, or Bauhaus, or Futurism. Like brutalism, like the actual styles, traditional. But yeah, I guess in my case, my art style would just be my art style. A frozen wood frog. Okay, I like that one. We're gonna try. I don't know. Once again, this seems like kind of a hard design, but I'm just gonna wing it. I've made enough frogs, hopefully, in my day. Goodgis, have you seen Simon S. Anderson's pixel art? No, I have no idea who that is. Or like, if I have, I don't know their name. I'm really bad with names. Also, let's change his background color. Make it a little bit lighter. It's a little hard to see. There we go. Let's do this. A ghost that likes Christmas. I mean, have you ever met a ghost that doesn't like Christmas? That's the question I have for you. Okay. Have you seen Brandon James Greer? I have. I used to watch his videos in the past, but I don't really watch Pixel art videos. I don't mean that in like a pretentious way. I don't know. I just don't find them that super interesting. Maybe it's just because I have so much Pixel I have to do. I'm also like, for those who don't know, I'm a graphic designer. That's my day job. So I make art all day long. So I get a little tired of art. Actually, a lot of the stuff that I watch is it's like not art or game design related. It's like outdoors stuff. Even though I'm not like the biggest outdoors guy either. I don't know, there's just something about watching stuff about outdoors. It makes me feel like I am a human or something. Because I'm inside so much. Well, I wonder if is that weird doing that? Ooh. Do a barrel roll. How often do you plan to stream? I don't know. It all depends. Like I said, I might not stream for a little bit after this because I have a baby on the way very soon, and so I'm gonna be KO'd for a little bit. For anyone who's had kids, it's literally the greatest thing ever, but you're very tired. Oh, this guy's creepy. Well, let's make him creepier. Yeah. This frog looks like he's got PSD. Are you a fan of climbing? You know what? I have never done it. I mean, I used to climb around when I was a kid, but I don't go to like rock climbing walls or anything like that. I don't know how I feel about this guy's eyes. I'm more so into like hiking and stuff. But I'm not like I'm like a hiker, but then I like to come home and chill out at my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a backpacker and stuff. The Fearth team and I will go camping. We do like a Fearth camping trip. It's fun. But you know what? Frogs have this kind of eye. There we go. And also, I don't like how that looks. Eyes need to be round. They don't need to be whatever the heck that is. Yeah, okay, now we're getting somewhere. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. I have to go. The stream has been so fun, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hey, Zara Menzi, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. The frog looks cold. Well, it is a Arctic frog, or I think that's what the suggestion was. You're a father? Yeah, I don't know. I don't normally. I'm very quiet about my personal life, but yes, back when I hit 100K, like 2 years ago, I had my first kid. So back again for round 2. Let's do. I'm trying to think what sort of body. I want to use the same coat though, because I like the idea of like. I really want to make like an NPC that has like. Let's try it, like this. Hold on. You should add NPC on the base. Knitting patterns like checkers or lines might be difficult to do in pixel art, but it would be cool. That would be very interesting. It would definitely be challenging to do for sure. It'd be impossible. No, I was kidding. That's a cool idea though. Yeah, it's always interesting how hard it is to make anything in this art style because it's so limited. First kid. Are you asking if this is my, no, this is my second. And that's why I really don't stream because I don't really have a good office. My daughter always just like runs in here and then yells at me while I'm streaming, so I have to like schedule when she's out to stream, hence why I haven't streamed. So 2 Day Studios, are you the one that's been asking for a wasp guy like on every video? If you are, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I probably won't make a wasp guy. This is disgusting. Hold on, no, this is gonna get better. Max Gamer says, hello, big fan, dude. Will there be level editor? I really love the game. Really love that in a game. If not on launch, that'd be really cool. Could be updated. Please consider that. You know, I don't know. I don't think it really makes sense for this style of game. But I'll never say never. How about that? All right, Winter. I'm good with suggestions for now, but I appreciate you popping in. I'm trying to think. Did I miss any other questions? I feel like I am. I look away for 2 seconds and I miss everything. Frog could be chilling in a hot tub. This frog is just literally chilling. He's just frozen. It's kind of disgusting, but in like the most beautiful way. Okay, let's grab that and we'll slap it back on here. We got, I mean, if we're gonna make a guy, we gotta at least give him realistic proportions, you know? I think I need to slope it more, actually. And I need to, like, we'll add a collar. Add, like, a hood design. Ooh, I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. Peace out, Winter. Thanks for stopping by. Which version of Godot do you use for your game? I don't remember. 4.2.2 stable. There's a new update, but you get to a point with a game where it's like you don't want to update because then you have to like redo a lot of stuff. So I'm kind of at that place right now where it's like I should update. There's some cool like parallax updates, but I don't know if I will or not. So we'll see. Hey, have a good one, Cookies. Cookies are cool. This frog is going to make frog puns. That's what you think. What if this frog is the final boss? He just comes out of nowhere. Let's see. Are you required to update Godot for your game? No, you don't need to. I mean, you can. Okay, I like this. See, it's such an iterative process. And I will say that 12 more times on stream. There we go. Crepe is liking it, I can tell. Yeah, so what games have you guys been playing recently? Or what games are you hyped about? Like, hyped for? I don't even know what's coming out recently. Played the new Zelda, that was great. I'm not done with it, but it's funny calling it a new Zelda game because it actually is just a Zelda game. It's like the most accurate description to that game because it's you play Zelda. Played Tunic recently. I love Tunic. Weirdly enough, that's probably one of my most like favorite games I've played all year. I mean, I think I played last year, but that's probably one of my most favorite games that has been released in the last like 10 years. Like that game has such a interesting feel and dynamic to it. I don't know, I love it. Let's see what else. Excited for Dream Barbecue? I don't even know what that is. Night in the Woods is a holiday favorite. Fun. Maybe you could add 2 NPCs that are siblings named 1 and 0. Breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, it's just binary. Also because you missed it. Anton Blast? I don't know what that is. He's secretly a frog prince. Brad, you're secretly my frog prince. How about that? Snow frog, yes. I think winter locations are my favorite locations to make in a video game. Hands down. I mean, this guy's hands are down. You can't even see him. You know, I think what I should do to make it consistent, I should try to... He probably eats snow off the ground. What's he eat like? I can't imagine there's a lot of bugs or insects in in the Arctic. There we go. I think he needs a pocket, or maybe he gets like one of these cool like. Well, hold on. Before I go crazy here, it's always important to save your iterations. We'll add this, and then we'll like. There we go, like that. It's like a strap. Well, I need to make it bigger though. Why is he so fat? He's not fat, dude. If you were in think about it, cold-blooded animal in a frozen location, you would want all the warmth you could get. Frogs eat bees? Well, not this one. Yeah, I don't like that strap. Hold on. Maybe we'll give him like some... You know what? We could give him like ruffles, like a jacket. I'll have to make it look a little bit more. Oh boy. What have I done? Secretly shredded. I don't know what you're saying. I can't translate Zoomer talk. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, what if we like... Oh, you're saying he's secretly shredded. Oh, there's Badgis. Badgis, what are you doing here? Turbo Warp is a Scratch mod, by the way. I don't think I've heard of it. I haven't really messed around with modding in Scratch just because I'm just too focused on making games in Scratch in general. Dewdrop movement is exciting. Yeah, that's what we're trying to make, is exciting movement. I think exciting movement makes for an exciting game. This guy's getting... Maybe we're getting too detailed with him. Maybe we're getting too crazy. No. He's a family of frog babies under the coat. You never know. He could. There we go. Am I making like the quintessential like winter coat from the early 2000s? That's what it feels like. It's like... Like, this is that coat that everyone had. If you grew up in the 2000s, I should add. I guess if you didn't grow up in the 2000s, maybe you didn't. Or maybe you did. And I respect it. He's... Okay, now the lore's getting weird. Alright, any questions? I'm seeing a lot of suggestions. But I'm looking for questions. Let's do that. Let's... Here's a question. Should he have arms? That's the question. Dude, how big did I make this guy? I didn't realize how huge he was. Holy moly. I might have to shrink him down just a little bit. Or maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. Do I plan on finishing Blizzard Blowout? Maybe you didn't hear. I feel like you keep asking questions that I'm answering, but you didn't hear. But that's okay. I don't know. That's the answer. Maybe. It depends on. I have no plans to finish it right now. Really, after Dewdrop's done, I'm going to. I don't want there to be any pressure to like pick up an old game and try to finish it. What I really want to do is I want to prototype, and I just want to come up with like a fresh game idea. And it might be the fact that I might be picking up an old game and you know, reworking it, but I want to just leave room for creativity. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Let's give him like a pocket. You can't be an explorer without a pocket. The Arctic Frog Explorer. What should you do if you get copied? Do you mean like someone plagiarizes you? Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. There's a lot of public shaming. I feel like it's the best. That sounds terrible, but generally that ends up being the best thing to do. But no, I don't know. And it's really just tell your friends, report it, and communicate it. But it's a horrible feeling when people plagiarize, especially if you're a smaller creator, because I feel like that's what happens if you're a smaller creator or artist. Like it's a lot easier for people to want to steal if they like something that you've done. Have you heard of Pyxel Overload? I have not. Put a teeny frog in the pocket. You know what? I can make this guy taller. If he needs, could you imagine this? No, you're not ready for that. No one's ready for that. What do you think of the Flappy Bird remake? I mean, it's not a remake. It's like, I think it's literally someone who basically stole something and then, which already exists. Like, I could care less that Flappy Bird, like, you can play a million Flappy Bird clones and a lot of them are even better than Flappy Bird, like the original version. So it's like, I really don't think much of it. And I've never been like, I never thought Flappy Bird was that interesting in the first place. It's cool. Like, I think it's a fine game, or I don't even want to say a fine game. I don't know, it's just kind of boring, you know? It's just like a typical arcade kind of game. Yeah, yes, exactly. Just stolen valor. What do UHD Pixels say? Maybe with inspiration of someone here. Maybe like someone like little old me. Wait, what? I'm confused by that comment. Maybe he'd start as an enemy. I don't know. Are you talking about the frog guy? I have places from. Thanks for the stream. Awesome seeing you work. Have to go. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Flying Donkey. I don't know why I said it that way. Donkey. Put a sausage in his pocket. That will be his food source. Isn't a crypto scam? Yeah, that's what I heard. It's hard. No, it's sad. It's hard to hear the word crypto without thinking of the word scam afterwards. Oops. Crypto. What is that? Oh, that's from the other layer. Never mind. Oh, that's like... That's too much, frog. Make his head small, but keep his jacket really huge. I mean, his head is already small, proportionally. Like, let's be honest here. I'm just playing. Like I said, if you want to grow as an artist, the best thing you can do is just play around like this. Let's see, let's give him some, like, eyelashes. That is disturbing. Okay. Ignore that advice I just gave. Never play around. There's something here. I think, I wonder if I make his... Generally a frog's mouth is like the biggest part. I don't know. I don't think there's much more I want to do with this guy. I'm using Pyxel Edit, fresh Roblox. Roblox, yes. I don't know why I said that weird. Yeah, Pyxel Edit is the name of the Pixel art software I'm using. This has to be a Donkey Kong Country song. Okay, the only other thing I was gonna see is like... It'd be hilarious if his like hand was really small. Oh, I used to be good at making hands. At least in this art style. The cosmic horror of Dewdrop Dynasty. Yes. Hey, at least you can't say that the character designs aren't creative, all right? Oops. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this, but I'm just trying something. Will you add skins for Dewdrop? No, but there's something else that might be in the game. That's very vague, but once again, I'm being vague on purpose, so. let's... There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. I gotta add some depth to this guy. I don't want him to be one-dimensional. Even, I mean, technically he's two-dimensional, but you know what I'm saying. Character-wise. What's this guy gonna be for? We're just messing around, Mike. We're trying to make some NPCs and stuff for Dewdrop. But I'm just playing around, seeing what I like, what I don't like. But yeah, nothing is. I can neither confirm or deny if this man will be in the game or not. This frog. It's disgusting. His arms are absolutely disgusting. Okay. For the sake of the stream, let's move on to another character. Will the bee have a girlfriend? I don't know. That's such an interesting question. What happened to the elephant? The elephant I just put on hold. I wasn't happy with how he was progressing. You know what? There's another character I want to work on actually right now, and I'm gonna work on him right now. It's actually, this might be more of a prop, but I've been really wanting to make a snowman for the location because it is a winter area, even just like a background prop and stuff. Hey Goodgis, I just got here. What are we doing? We are making character. Well, I'll show you. It's been a little bit since I've showed. So, working on Dewdrop Dynasty, a Metroidvania, if you haven't heard of it. I'm assuming most people here are because of Metroid, because of Dewdrop, but we're working on creating some NPCs right now and just some characters and props and things. But since there might be some new people that have joined since the stream started, I'll show some gameplay. That way I can answer some questions. Sorry guys, I'm getting very... It is very hard to multitask. And I remember this being a problem when I used to stream, and it's a problem now. So let's just take some time. If you got questions, here's my time. I will just stare at the chat. And let's answer some questions, because I'm only going to be streaming for like another half hour. So any burning questions about Dewdrop, about YouTube, about anything, any projects, now is the time to ask. As I don't want to say I'm going to be going dark here soon, but things are going to be a little quiet the next couple of months because I'm going to be in the thick of developing Dewdrop. Also, I mentioned this earlier, I'm having a baby, so that's going to throw me off routine. And obviously with the holidays, I always try to take some time off. That's the only time I really take time off. So things are going to be a little quiet here. So if you have questions, if you're curious about anything, now is the time to ask. Or forever hold your peace, or at least for a couple months. What's my favorite Zelda game? Great question. I love Ocarina of Time, of course. Ocarina of Time is fantastic. And Link to the Past, probably my favorite 2D Zelda game. Oh wait, did I say... No, not Link to the Past. What am I saying? Am I insane? Link's Awakening. Like, original Link's Awakening. I'm actually not that big of a fan of Link to the Past. Okay. How's development going? It is going well. It is slow, unfortunately, but it is going. I've been working on artwork. Here's kind of what the areas have been looking like. They're pretty barren. So I've been working on artwork and overhauling a lot of the game. So we've been having playtesters play through the game. That's been super helpful. Did you finish all the bosses in the game? Or like make it for Dewdrop? No. That's probably, the bosses are probably the last thing. Like those sorts of bosses, details, stuff like that. I'll probably make them sooner than later, but I'm just trying to get the world done because it really dictates the enemies, the characters, the bosses, everything. It makes it so much easier. Am I working on Dewdrop full time? I am not. I work full time as a graphic designer for a Fortune 100 company. So I have my work cut out. The only reason I am able to stream today is because I took a half day. So from work. But I love my work. The people there are fantastic. They know about the channel. They know about the game. They're very supportive. But obviously, it'd be amazing hopefully after Dewdrop finishes, or when we're done with it, to be able to work full time. If I was working on this game full time, it would be out. It definitely would have been out by now. So, how do you start promoting your game? Social media, I mean, is your best bet. I hate to recommend Twitter or X. I refuse to call it X. I don't really recommend. It's hard to recommend X just because of how crazy it's been recently with all its policy changes and stuff. But yeah, start like a social media account and just start posting screenshots of your games and stuff like that. It helps. If people like your screenshots, then it's a good sign that they like your visuals and you're doing something interesting with your gameplay. I know a lot of games that do that, are like successful indie devs who have just marketed on Twitter and stuff. And also YouTube obviously is a great way. I mean, you can count this stream technically as promoting Dewdrop because you guys are watching me develop a game. So there's all sorts of ways that you can promote. Will there be more test playing in the future? I'd love to apply. Right now, all testing is it's only for people who backed the Kickstarter and specifically got the beta testing tier. So right now it's like I said, it's exclusively that. That might change in the future, but probably not. I really appreciate all the beta testers and their financial investment is really what helped make this game possible. So I've been keeping it pretty small. Are you happy about the areas turnout? Yeah, so I think like this right here, like I don't know any of you guys watching right here. This area is like really underwhelming. Like this is like Snorville. There's not enough detail. There's no foreground. There's no like really background stuff. There needs to be things that you can break, enemies and stuff like that. So just know that like this is more the direction I'm going. But an even better example, I'll go back to this area, is like this is the level of detail I want each area to have. And this doesn't even have the enemies in it yet. So if Dewdrop is successful, do you plan on making more YouTube videos and working on another big project? Yes. Definitely. Like the plan is, I'm gonna say when Dewdrop is successful, let's believe this, people. My goal is to just I'll actually have free time to make more videos because I've been posting like once a month, maybe less than that, and it's purely just because I just don't have time. So if I wasn't working full time and all that stuff, then I would definitely be able to, you know, I could spend way more time working on games and I would be just less stressed. It's really hard, like balancing having a family and working. Like I work a lot. I technically have a weekend job too, but we won't get into that. When will you release the game again? The game is going to be released. I'm saying this here because I hope to God this is true, but June of 2025. It was going to come out this year, but just too many things came up. But I think that by June of 2025 or next year, everything should be done in time. So, and even if it's not all done, I think what I might do is I might just release and then just work on updates. So it's, I don't want to call it alpha, but like kind of like that. We've taken maternity leave, or paternity leave. Yeah, I do for work. Last time this happened, I was like, I'm gonna get so much done with Dewdrop because I don't have to worry about, work. I can just focus on Dewdrop's gonna be great, and then I didn't do any work at all because you're just tired. You're really tired. It's like when you have a kid. It's literally the greatest out of anything I've created in my life, like games, videos, whatever. Nothing beats having a child. It's literally the most wonderful thing. It's tough, but I mean, anything worth value in this life has a cost to it. That's what my grandfather used to say. So, but anywho, but yeah, I just want to enjoy that time with my family. Hi, Goodgis. I just woke up. My eyes are still adjusting. That's like the worst thing when you get up in like or it's like too bright in the room. Like, ah. How did you develop a unique art style like yours? I'm struggling to find mine. You know what? I think it takes about 2 years as an artist to develop your art style. That's what I've noticed. You kind of just gravitate towards like what you like and what you don't like, and then over time, it's really your art style is like almost like, I don't want to say you're biased, but it's like your opinion. So after a while, like you just don't like I don't like the way that looks. I'm gonna change it, and then you find other artists. And you're like, wow, I really like how they make this thing or how they make that, and then you just slowly start to like adapt. So if you don't have it now and you're just starting out, just know that just practice a lot, and it'll emerge over time. Oh, what beats having a child? I'm curious. Is this in Python? No, this is in Godot. I use Python. I use all sorts of different frameworks, but when it comes to actually making like full-fledged games, I use Godot game engine. It is the best game engine I know of. It's free, it's open source, and it's part of this nutritious breakfast. Will the game be kid-friendly? Yes. Yep. That's kind of the whole, I don't want to say that's the whole appeal to Dewdrop, but Dewdrop is definitely like, my idea going into it is like, how could I make like, this is kind of ironic, but I was like, how can I make a Nintendo style Metroidvania? I know Metroid is a Nintendo Metroidvania, but like the theming is just like a little, it's just too dark. I want something a little, I want like a Paper Mario themed Metroidvania, and that's really what this is. Should I donate to Dewdrop? Yeah, you do not have to donate at all. The best way to donate to Dewdrop is to buy it when it comes out, or wishlist it. If you wishlist it, that really helps as well. So, but yeah, there's no, you don't need to donate or anything. When are you gonna make another Scratch video? I don't know. I was worried that people are getting some Scratch fatigue, so I haven't made it in a while. And also, I don't know what I want to do next with Scratch. I've kind of done some cool stuff, and I don't have like a fresh idea yet, so that's why I've been doing some different programming videos, and so anywho. But I probably will do another one. Dark Magician can beat a child. I was waiting for the punchline. Can you estimate how many enemies will be in the game? I can't. That's also kind of a weird thing too. I don't want to be like, there's 87 enemies in this Metroidvania. How do you make your videos juicy? Ask Crepe, because he edits my videos. No, it just takes time and polish. Does Poe gun have a range limit? Yeah. You see how far? Oh, let's look up. And then the charge shot can shoot further. So there might be some things that affect that range, but you'll see. Do you think Silksong release will be bad for when your game releases? Yes. I'm actually, that's probably the scariest thing, and that's what's like has really pushed me to like work hard in this game, because I think if Silksong comes out before Dewdrop, I don't want to say it would horribly hurt Dewdrop, but it might. But if Dewdrop comes out first, I think the game has a chance of just performing better, because otherwise Silksong is going to come out, it's going to be probably around the same price range, and then it's going to be a masterpiece, and then they're going to be like, and if you have, you know, 10, 15 bucks or whatever, what are you going to buy? You know, it's like, it's hard. It's a hard business. Will the game have difficulty settings? Yeah, there already are difficulty settings. It's not like your typical difficulty settings though. They're more like it's not like, they're almost like different game modes a little bit. Can you give me a little challenge I can do? Yes. Can you make a let me think. Can you make a maze game in 2 days? And the theme is pumpkins. There you go. That's your prompt. Did you start making games in Godot, or did you switch from another game engine? So I started out in this little game engine no one's heard of called Game Maker. No, I was kidding. Yeah, I started out with Game Maker. Game Maker 7 way back in the day. And I used that for years, and then eventually I got, like, this is back when I was like 14. So like a while ago. And then when I was around high school, I got out of game dev, and I still did stuff kind of, but I got more so into graphic design. And then it wasn't until I was in college that I got back into game dev, and I started using Construct 3 or Construct 3 or whatever you want to call it. And that's really when I got back into game dev again. So then I used that for a while, and I thought it was so cool, but then I always felt a little guilty because I'm like, man, I want to actually make like, the limitations of Construct are a little frustrating sometimes, depending on what you're trying to do. So then I switched over to Godot, and it was a little bit of a learning curve, but I literally do not regret it. When Silksong releases, will you play it? I probably won't play it right away. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to think about it. Let's not talk about Silksong. Let me have this moment of peace. No, I was kidding. I'm sure it's gonna be great. How did I get into programming and game development? Do you have any tips for someone who wants to develop a game, but they're not good at art but want to improve? Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because I got into game development from an artist perspective. So I don't know if I can. It might be kind of awkward, or not awkward, but different for you. But we just always, my friends and family, we always wanted to make games growing up. So we just did it. We just learned, and we just practiced a lot. We copied a lot of art styles. Copying's a great way to learn. Just make sure you don't, like, I don't know, just make sure that you're like, when you're copying something, like, it's okay to copy Mario sprites, but then like you don't publish them, or just say, hey, here's this copy I made or whatever. But early on you should copy a lot. Actually, there's a fantastic video, wonderful video done by this YouTuber called Goodgis that just came out. No, I was kidding. I did a video just on this recently, if you haven't seen already. Great, maybe you can drop that in the chat. But it's literally on how to get started with game development. And it doesn't cover the artwork side of things, but really it's just practice. You have to copy, you have to look at how other people do it, and it's iterative. You just take time. So like anything, it just takes time. So how do I get the motivation? You just gotta do it. You gotta have some sort of accountability. Like I have an accountability because it's YouTube channel, and because of all of you, and because of the Kickstarter for Dewdrop. So it's a good motivator. It makes me work, that's for sure. Hold on, I want to do something real quick. Let me go over here. Let me just pull this over. We're gonna have fun real quick with this way. I'm answering some questions. I'm gonna give myself some tickets. The good old ticket machine. Here we go. And let's bring this back over. Whoop. Cool. How do I promote my game? The best way to promote your game is just to share it. It's like kind of what I'm doing now, but you just you have to share your what you're working on, and it's also good because it makes you work harder to make artwork that's appealing to people. Because when it comes down to it, if people don't find your game interesting, this is the cold hard reality of game development. If you're trying to promote your game and nobody's playing it, it's either your game just, first off, people don't know about it. Maybe they don't like the art style, like the art style isn't super appealing, or the gameplay isn't super appealing. So if you're just starting out making games, I seriously would not worry about marketing. I would just worry about making, like, just focus on making fun games, you know? Whee! I love the gacha machine. Oh, all these upgrades. Oh, I didn't mean to pick that up. Spoiler. Will you release a full game or just an early access? My plan is release the full game in June, by June, but if it's not done, I'll release early access until it's finished. But I hope and pray it's done. We'll see. It's gonna be a stretch. What's your least favorite part about Dewdrop development? Probably the level design. I really struggled with it. I have a system now, but until I could figure it out, it was brutal, man. And also, there's always just like something you got to work on. But another hard thing with game development is eventually you just have to decide like the game is good enough. And there's always a fear. Like even now, I look at like you could look at this area and be like, oh, I could improve this. I can make this better. But eventually, you just have to be like, you know what? The game is the game, and I'm like, I have to finish this game, even if this game doesn't do as well as I hope. I have to finish it at some point, so I can move on and make something new. Because otherwise, I'm gonna be working on this game for like 20 years, which I don't want. Yeah, Godot is really great for 3D. I think Unity and stuff has a little bit more support for that. But Godot, you can still do like so much with it. It just all comes down to the art style and stuff. And Godot is getting better by the day, so by the minute. Somebody write that down. What's your favorite Paper Mario game and why? I have 3 favorite Paper Mario games, and it's the only 3 Paper Mario games that exist in my mind. I really like the first Paper Mario. I think that's the best in some sense. Like tone-wise and theming, it's such a great feel-good game. It just like it makes me so happy. So I love Paper Mario 1. Thousand Year Door was a fantastic sequel. I love the theming. I love the design. I like how they like made the combat more interesting. It's just fantastic sequel. So I think I like the first game better feel-wise, but they're like tied in my mind. And then I love Super Paper Mario. I think that was I don't really consider it a sequel. I consider it more of a spin-off. But that game is so good, man. Super Paper Mario, it's so underrated. So this game takes a lot of inspiration from all those games. And then any game after that is not Paper Mario. Any tips for balancing college and game dev? Yeah, here's the thing. So I did the college route, and I think, like, obviously it depends on what you're going for, but I just did it as a hobby, and I think you should do that. I truly believe, unless you're super frugal and you know how to save up money and do all the stuff, I think you should have a job when you do game dev, because it takes longer. But the stability is great, man. Like, it's so much better to have a stable job, stable income, than to be like, you know, struggling to pay the bills and trying to do game dev. That's stressful. So I would say college comes first, and then when you have time, just do it. And like, I don't know what your goals are, obviously, but try to work on small projects and just be okay with the fact that progress is slow. So Nine Souls, I haven't really seen much about it. So okay, the list of Metroidvania games I've played Hollow Knight. I've beaten Hollow Knight. I've basically beat Super Metroid. I've played Yoku's Island Express. I've been playing Vernal Edge recently. I've played Haiku the Robot. I've played through a good chunk of Lone Fungus. So a lot of like the indie Metroidvanias. I've played some Metroid Dread, some Iconoclast, a little bit of that. I wasn't a huge fan of Iconoclast. And then that's it, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, Bonzo would know more about those. I just play Zelda games. Those are my favorite Metroidvanias. I'm trying to make a 3D game. It's hard to start with a pool room game, or should I go ahead? Is it start? I don't know. It could. I imagine it might be hard because just the physics, but I don't know. There's probably a tutorial you could follow on that. What's your game you've worked on besides Dewdrop? Ooh. Probably like my MMO projects. I know that that's not, those are multiple games, but like MMO games, well, it's hard. There's two games. There's like Stone and Bone, like those games, like Survival Boys, Stone and Bone, like that type of survival arcade kind of game. Those were absolute blast to work on. Like so addicted, would not eat and drink. I would lose track of time. Like that's how addicted I was by those. Work on that, and then same with like Fantasy World and Whizbirds and the Wiz 2 prototype I worked on and stuff. It's really, online games are just, they're the most enjoyable to develop for, because you can immediately tell if they're boring or not. So okay, so we're about to wrap up very shortly here. So your final questions, get them in now or forever hold your peace. I already said that. I already made that joke. I'll pull this up so people can see this beautiful creation again. Yeah, I'll say this again. There will be a new Dewdrop devlog in like 2 weeks, and then I think that might be the last video of this year, just with how things are working out. After that, I'll be back in January. But like I said, I'm really gonna be. I hate to hibernate. It's like, it always makes me scared to like do that with YouTube, because like people forget about you and things change. But I really want to get this game done, so I'm gonna hibernate for a little bit. But I'll be back. Don't worry. But yeah, I really miss streaming. That's something I want to do. I would love to do more often. It's something I'll definitely do more often once Dewdrop is done. At least I'm hoping. I already mentioned the release date. I'm shooting for June of 2025. So, and what platforms is going to be released on Windows, Linux, and Mac, and technically Steam Deck, because all that stuff works. But as for consoles, we'll see. Nothing's out of the realm of possibility, but it's just like there's nothing planned with consoles yet. What's the most difficult thing to code in Dewdrop? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe the input mapping was kind of annoying. Maybe that. Man, I would say that. I don't know if it was the hardest. It was just the most annoying. What's your favorite game genre? Action adventure? Whatever a Zelda game is, that is. Like a game that has like some, you got combat, you're running around, there's puzzles. I mean, Mario Odyssey technically fits in that category. Whatever Ocarina of Time is, and whatever like Mario Odyssey is. I really like those types of games. And online games. What is my favorite Pokemon? I like Togepi. Togepi used to be my OG. Klefki. Jirachi. I named my fish Jirachi. I used to have a beta fish. And I think that's it. That frog is so bad. I love it. I know. He's wonderful. Thanks for the stream and everyone who helped. You've been a big inspiration for me to start looking into game dev. Peace. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And shout out to Crepe, Bonzo, and I don't know if Janky Bread's still in the chat, but thanks for helping out, moderating, especially Crepe, for hitting the band hammer. So, what was the hardest part of making this game? I think it was just to come up with the idea. I think this was exactly how you should not make a game, and that's why this game has taken so long to make. It's just because I'm really learning the processes for how to make a game. So, there's kind of that famous like Satoru Iwata quote, like if I were to restart tomorrow, I can make your game in a year. Otherwise, if I take like rework what you have, it'll take 2 years or something like that. I don't know what the quote is. I'm slaughtering it, but it's kind of true. Like with all the knowledge I have now, I could make games a lot faster. But how long do you think the average Dewdrop game would last? I don't know. We haven't really timed it out fully. Without all the content being in it, it's only a couple hours. I'm thinking hoping it'll be like 5-6 hours. We'll see. Everyone's different. It's also like for me when I time myself playing it, like it takes me like from start to finish and with like no enemies in a lot of areas, like a lot of areas just missing stuff. And there's not like that many bosses in the game yet or like the story stuff. It still takes me like, I think like 2 hours to like speed run it. And that's with me knowing where everything's at. So I think it'll take people longer. I'm hoping. Should I start on Game Maker or Godot? It's whatever your preference. I think Game Maker might be easier to get started with, but I think Godot is the better engine. I'm stuck in the level design phase. I haven't even made a single level for my 2D game. You just got to do it. It's really easy to procrastinate. And that's why I haven't done any art really for the game, because I've been procrastinating. I'm like, I know I need to work in this game. So do the hard stuff, get out of the way. It's kind of painful. And then you can do all the fun stuff. Any idea how large the game will be? I don't know. 300 megabytes. Can I repost my question? Sure. I'm not sure what your question was. What is the bee's name? The character's name is Poe. Poe Lin. Have you played Origami King? Yeah, I didn't like it. Just give me a Paper Mario game with a battle system that's not garbage, and I'll be happy. Do you have tips for platformer level design? I mean, the main thing is just to play with variety, like play with verticality, play with like, you could have bigger, more square maps. You can have like taller, skinnier maps. You can have like wider maps. So it's really just what feels right. So it's kind of hard. I know that's very vague, but also creating hazards and stuff really helps like the levels design themselves. So I wonder how speedrunners would play the game. I'm curious too. I'm definitely like making the game, giving the player as much agency as possible to make decisions for like playing things out of order, maybe like sequence breaking and stuff like that. I'm not purposely trying to like make the game like super buggy or weird so that people can speed run it, but I know that that's gonna be probably a big appeal to it. So I also think it's a little cringe designing your game for speedrunning. There's just something about that feels a little cringy, but I'm designing the game in a way that gives players a lot of freedom to play it differently, and hopefully, especially with some of the items and like abilities you get, I think people are going to get really creative. How much influence is there from Cave Story? There used to be a ton of influence from Cave Story. The thing is, like, I've worked in this game so long that all the games that I've referenced and have been influenced by, it's like the list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So it's in there somewhere. You'll see maybe the gun jumping, but even that's kind of based off another game. How do I handle having yuck old code in a big project after I learn 100 ways to make it better? Should I leave it or rewrite it? I've rewritten code for Dewdrop. I've gone back and rewritten stuff. At the end of the day, this is very controversial, but nobody's looking at your code, and if it works, it works. I don't say that to be like, I don't say that to encourage you to write spaghetti code, but I say that because I think people get too caught up in like having their code pristine and perfect, and I don't think you should worry about that unless it's really buggy. Like I totally just rewrote all the code for the menu system in Dewdrop because I was having these weird glitches. So I had to create this new state machine system just because like when I literally, this is the first game I started making in Godot, and I'm still working on it now. So it's like, as you can tell, the game has changed quite a bit, and some of that code is super old. So I just do it in chunks. Okay, a few more questions, then I'm gone. What is the best way to work on a game? I mean, whatever way is most comfortable for you. I don't know if you answered this already, but did you add back the ammo links? I did not answer this, and that's something you'll have to wait and see. And also, yes, that's all same. You have to wait and see. Favorite beverage? I drink a lot of tea. Yeah, I I love green tea. I really like any tea. I don't drink anything with caffeine. I like coffee as well. But yeah, that's maybe a pumpkin spice latte. There you go. That's my favorite drink. I drink it like once a year. What other games influence you the most? I don't know. Sonic Adventure, Paper Mario. I already said that. Ocarina of Time, of course. I can't. Why am I blanking on games? I literally have like this huge list of games that has inspired me, but I can't think of it right now. So those are the ones that come to mind. What do you think of the game design of Kirby? I think Kirby's really cool. I'm not like the biggest Kirby fan. Like I enjoy it, but I like it. He is good. What happened to Danny? I think Danny just made a lot of money and he was just done. It's really interesting that the state of game dev YouTube has changed so much. Either people are quitting because they just either their channels just like kind of fizzle out, or they lose interest, or they make a lot of money and then they just leave, and it's really strange. So it's changed so much. It's kind of sad, actually. I was just talking with Reese Geoffroy yesterday, or 2 days ago, and just because he's taking a break from YouTube and stuff like that. I don't know if he'll come back or not, but anywho, that's for him to talk about. But just even talking with him and his story and what's going on, like it's just interesting. It's just weird to see that like the state of YouTube changes and people move on. But yeah, so yeah, Danny might come back. I think there's just so much pressure on him that he stresses him out. Which game is the most nostalgic to you? I don't know. The Paper Mario? I keep saying that, but yeah, I think the fact that people keep asking, I think the way he left really encouraged people to get like weird and suspicious about it. But I think at the same time, I mean, he really doesn't have to make anything or finish anything. I mean, it is a bummer. But yeah, he probably just drinking some milk somewhere. No, I didn't play 1,000 Year Door remake because I already own it. I already own 1,000 Year Door on GameCube, and even though the remake looks good, I think it actually, in my mind, it looks a little worse than the original game. So instead of dropping $60, I'll just play the original game. If you could play one game for the first time again, which game would it be? I don't know. I'm blanking on like a lot of games right now. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 or something. I love Kingdom Hearts. Those games that's another big inspiration. Is the milk blue? I have, Bonzo, you know this. I have had blue milk before. And it is good. I've not played Bug Fable. I really like, it's weird, even though I like Paper Mario, I don't know, I haven't played a lot of like the spin-off games or like the games inspired by it. I've played too many hours of Minecraft, unfortunately. I've played like literally thousands and thousands of hours, but now as an adult, I don't play it anymore because I just won't get any work done. So I didn't make a vow, but I basically just refuse to play it now. It's too addictive. What's Audacity? Oh, Audacity is what I use for my sound effects. Put Sans Undertale into the game. Yes, and get sued immediately. Do you recommend commissioning artists to make visuals and music? You can. I think it can be a good experience. I like my experience with Scarlet Moon Studios and Peter has been, or Scarlet Moon Productions, or I can't remember what they're called, but and Peter has been fantastic. But I think if you don't have the money, I think don't do it. And if you have the free time, I think you should do it. All right. I hate to call it quits, but I got to end it here. Thank you so much for everyone who came to the stream. I seriously appreciate it. And anyone who's watching this after the stream, I seriously appreciate it. So each and every one of you. It's been such a long time since I've streamed, and it's so weird. I'm getting back into the groove of it. So I would love to make this more of a schedule thing in the future. But wish me luck as I go into this next phase of Dewdrop development. Keep your eyes peeled on devlogs. And I love how no matter when I end the stream, there's always someone who's just joining. I'm sorry. But yeah, keep an eye out for devlogs. Make sure to wishlist the game and share it with your friends. It's super helpful. And yeah, I'm super excited for it. So thanks everyone for stopping by. And I will see you next time. And have a great holidays if I don't talk to any of you until then. So peace.